guys, what's up? It's me. Doing another little vlog video today. Just wanted to talk about a couple things that I thought about on my way home from work. Really what I want to talk about today is things to do while pooping. Now hear me out. It's not as weird as it sounds. For whatever reason, going to the bathroom to poop is like a zen moment for me. It's something about being in the enclosed space with my thoughts. It's relaxing. I know not everybody's into it, and I know not everybody's into talking about it, but let's face it, everybody takes a shit. It's a natural function. But when I'm in the bathroom, I don't always just sit there and think. Sometimes I like to read. Sometimes I play a game on my phone. Those that follow me on Facebook and Twitter know that I like to check and post on social media. I even started frequently using the hashtag posting while pooping, where I'll come up with a weird thought or something will be on my mind, and I'll post it. And I'll tag it like that if that's what I'm doing, because I don't know, it's just a thing that I do. Recently, there's been really two things that I frequently do while I'm in the bathroom. One is I like to play games on my phone. Now, when I'm at work, I was, for the longest time, playing Candy Crush like most everybody with a cell phone these days. I got really addicted to the Candy Crush Soda Saga for a while. I got into like the 400 or 500s on the levels, and because at work I don't have a cell phone signal in the bathroom, and Candy Crush I can play offline, and then it'll save my game the next time I connect to the thing. And I was doing that for a while until about a month ago. And then one of my friends showed me this game that's apparently super popular in Japan right now called Puzzles and Dragons. Maybe it's just Puzzle and Dragon. And what it is, it's a kind of orb-breaking game, very similar to Candy Crush in a way, but instead of just moving... Wow, it's much louder than I expected it to be. Instead of moving just one orb like over one square or whatever and making combos that way, in Pad you can actually take an orb and move it anywhere on the grid and like shift orbs as you go, so you can actually make big chain combos. I don't know how well you can see it on here, but this is what it looks like. I may try to find like a graphic or something on there, but it's really basic in terms of what it is, but there's actually a lot of complexity to it once you get into it. You can recruit friends and stuff to help out. Basically what you do when you're matching the puzzles is it's almost kind of like playing Pokemon. You have like a team of monsters or whatever you want to call them that you build up, and you level them up and they can evolve and stuff like that, and you go through dungeons and basically you match orbs and stuff, and the more combos you get, the more damage your dudes do. The orbs match up with the colors of your monsters, and you can create teams of whatever, and as they match orbs they do damage to the enemy. Sometimes you'll catch the enemy in an egg, sometimes they just give gold. But you go through like all these different dungeons and stuff like that, and it's super addicting. I actually just like yesterday or today got a reward from the game makers for 30 consecutive daily logins, where they gave me a bunch of in-game currency to spend on buying new monsters or replenishing whatever. I mean, it is a game that supports microtransactions, and in a way, I'm kind of against that. I'm not super keen on the idea of just funneling money, but I also don't feel like this game's pay to win, because I've gotten a pretty good team just from the random events that they do. They give out the in-game currency pretty readily. You get like a stone every time you clear one of the dungeons. Sometimes they just give you one for logging in. Sometimes you get some for doing special stuff, and they like to throw out a lot of stuff, and they have all these events that run frequently. They have daily dungeons and things like that, and it's just super fun to play. All the monsters have types, kind of like in Pokemon, where you can use different colors to your advantage. You can build teams that have all of them or are just really powerful in one, and then try to match those stuff, and it's really up to you how you go about it. I've got a team right now that's focusing on healer types, which are surprisingly more powerful than I thought they would be. I've got a really good team synergy where my leader ability lets me boost attack for healer type monsters, and it doubles their HP, so I've got a bigger health bar than I should for the level that I'm at and stuff like that, and it's really, really fun. Really, really big in Japan. I'll put some links under the video if you want to check out like the database or whatever and kind of read about it a bit about it. It's on Android. It's probably on iPhone too, I'm sure. I would definitely check it out if you're looking for a new mobile game to play. It does require that you be connected to the internet while playing, so either on your Wi-Fi or on your 4G. So if you have limited data, be kind of mindful of that. I only have like 2.5, maybe 3 gigs of data, and even playing the game every day while I'm at work, going outside on breaks, I don't come anywhere near to using mine. So it doesn't seem to be very data heavy. You could probably research that online to see exactly how much data it uses, but it doesn't appear to be very much. But that is something to be mindful of, because I can't really play it while pooping at work, because the solar panels on our roof just kind of block cell signal in there, so I have to actually go outside to do that. But when I'm at home or over at somebody else's house or out shopping or something and I have to go to the bathroom, I'm most likely going to be playing pad and just working on monsters. It's really cool because you can team up with like your friends. They can add you, and I'll even put my friend code in the comments below if you want to add me. My friend list is almost full, but I'll be willing to add a couple people if I haven't already. And you can earn like extra points through playing with friends, which is these like PAL points is what they're called. They actually are an in-game currency that you can use to get monsters and evolution materials and enhanced materials and stuff like that on a daily basis too. So there's a lot of stuff that you can do in the game without spending money. So I definitely want to check it out. Or I definitely think you guys should check it out. I've already checked it out and I love it. So the other thing that I frequently do while pooping, especially at home, is I like to read. Usually I'll keep a book handy. I always have one by my bed in case I want to read before going to sleep at night. I've got a bookshelf literally right here beside me with a whole bunch of books in it. To my right, my wife has a lot of books, and there's another bookshelf over there with books. Reading is a good pastime for me. It's like video games. It's a chance for me to just kind of escape reality for a little while. Right now in the bathroom, I've got a copy of Kevin Smith's Tough Shit. It's kind of like a motivational book, but it's written by Kevin Smith. So it's full of raunchy humor and stuff like that. But it is a really motivational book. It talks about like all the stuff that he's done. It touches briefly on how he became a director and how he started making movies, and then how he walked away from movies and turned into like the podcast giant that he is now. And talks a little bit about projects and stuff. But it's just really uplifting and motivating the way he talks about it, because he really relates to you as a person. You get in touch with him because he kind of came from the same situation that most of us are, where we're just a dude with a dream that wants to do something, and he just got up one day and basically said, I'm fucking doing it. He made a movie, it got sold, he made a whole bunch of money, and then he made more movies, and now he's got a career doing stuff that he loves. And now he's kind of done it again because he walked away from the movie business. He didn't really like what was going on with how his movies were being made and where his art form was going as a director. And now he does podcasts, and he runs like fucking 6 podcasts a week, which is mind-boggling to me because it's hard enough for me to keep up with the one I do on Saturdays. And so, like, mad respect to Kevin Smith for being able to do all that. So I read through that book every now and then, especially if I'm at like a low point where I just kind of feel like I'm down and I'm stuck. Reading through it the second time is part of what motivated me again to start doing this, so I could do something creative and sit down and talk to you guys. And my cat is again trying to tear up the living room. But so it's super motivational. Last night, however, I sat down. It was actually before bed, and I read a horror book. Now, this book has a bit of an interesting story. So, in one of my last videos, I talked about going down to Atlanta to go to the Days of the Dead horror convention, where I got to meet like some famous people in the horror industry and stuff. But I also met a guy there named JH Glaze. And basically how it went down, I was walking through the merch stores or the merch booths and stuff looking for just random stuff. I like knickknacks. Like, I've got a couple little camels here. I don't even remember where they came from. I think my mom gave them to me. I've got tons of knickknacks all over the house. So I always go to places like this and I look for cool little knickknacks that I can keep on my desk at work or keep on my desk here. And so I'm walking around, and generally how I do it is I'll make a lap around the whole thing and see what everybody's got, and then I'll come back around and actually try to pick up the things that I want all in one go. But we were there on Sunday, and Sunday is usually when the people at the merch booth start to get a little desperate. It's the end of the con. They may be needing to make up some money to make sure that they're paying off their booth positions and whatever. And so they get a little more aggressive as salesmen, and I respect that. I've been in that situation before. I know what it's like to need to make sales on a deadline and stuff like that. So Sunday is always a good day to go to there. You'll get great deals. They're almost willing to cut out any weird profit percentages that they may have marked up for the other 2 days, just to try to move stuff. So one, they make their money back, but two, they don't have to load as much shit back into their cars to go home. So I'm walking around, and I walked past this one table. I was looking through, like, I think they were like some old movies or something weird like that. And next to it, there was a table that had some books out. It's not uncommon at conventions for authors to be there if they write about stuff that has similar content, whatever the con's about. This was a horror convention, so there's going to be a lot of people. I think I saw like 3 or 4 people selling books. But this one was all laid out, and the dude was doing something, and I just happened to look by, and I saw this book sitting on the table, and I kind of grinned a little bit when I saw the title. So hopefully this will show up. This book is called Night of the Living Inflatable Love Dolls. Now, with a title like that, you can't help but laugh. It definitely caught my interest, and I thought it was funny. And he noticed me noticing the book. And the dude actually talked to me for a little while. I stood there and kind of shot shit with him. Like, he told me to pick up the book. I turned it to a random page and just kind of flipped through it a little bit and read a little bit. And instantly, I like started to laugh at the content inside. So really, this is more of a horror comedy style book to me. Which I love. I love fusing horror with comedy. On the Film Feed podcast that I do every week, we've done movies like Tucker and Dale versus Evil, and Murder Party and stuff like that. There's definitely like a fusion of horror and comedy in just the best ways. And this book was actually kind of reminiscent as that. As I sat down, and it's not very big. I think technically it's a novella. I sat down and I read almost the whole book in one sitting, and the whole way through, I just kept laughing. Like, I started to relate to the characters, even though the situation that it's going on is just ridiculous, it was just a really fun read, and it's easy to connect with the characters. Even in a story this short, he does a really good job of like connecting you to the people very quickly. There are definitely some like kind of backwater townsfolk people, but it's really compelling, and it's almost impossible to put the book down. Like, the chapters are really short. I think there's, even in this small book, there's like 20 chapters, 21, 22, something like that. Yeah, 21. So you can blast through them, and if I were to just read like 2 or 3 chapters and then put it down, I would just immediately have to pick it back up and read a couple more. Like, it was just that good. Like, I really enjoyed reading it. It's definitely like an interesting take on the genre, because it's written like a zombie movie. It's reminiscent of stuff like Night of the Living Dead, which is what the title's a play on. It's Walking Dead, stuff like that. Anything with zombies in it, especially like the older style movies. This book kind of like brought up those feelings, and then it's got like some modernizations to it, but it's just got like a really weird twisted perspective on it, in that it's a town being besieged by animated sex toys. It's just kind of crazy like that. I don't want to go too much into the story because I don't want to like ruin it. If anybody's thinking about picking up the book, you should definitely check it out. He's got the books available for sale on Amazon. If you're anywhere where you can drive to Atlanta, he seems to frequent the conventions there. I saw on his Facebook page that he does Dragon Con. He's at Days of the Dead in Atlanta, and like a couple other horror conventions and other probably sci-fi and stuff like that in the Atlanta area, and probably some of the surrounding areas too. So definitely be on the lookout if you go to any conventions there for a guy named JH Glaze. Got a goatee, little hat. I'll put links to his Facebook and his Amazon page on there if you guys want to go check it out. I think it's really cool to support authors, especially if you could meet them in person and talk to them. And he actually signed my copy of the book for it, and he gave me like a little dedication in it. If I can get this open, and just right inside the front cover there, it says, even when it looks like fun, do not touch, just turn and run. And then he signed it. So that was really cool. And I sat down and talked, or I didn't sit down, but we stood there and talked for a few minutes. He told me about some of the other stuff. He asked me what I was interested in. And he told me about how his books were. He gave me a button pen. I actually don't know what I did with that. I think it's in one of my bags from where we came back up. But I wore that around the whole rest of the day with the same book title on it. And then I came back later once I got some cash and bought the book from him. And it was just a really cool experience. Super nice guy. He's on Facebook. I followed him on there. I sent him a message to let him know that I'm doing this video. So hopefully he'll check it out. But I really enjoyed the book, and I hope you guys can check it out too. But that's pretty much all I had for today. Those are the things that I do while pooping. Let me know in the comments below if you guys do anything not super obscene while pooping. If there's a book that you like to read, maybe read comics. If you play certain games, if I don't know, if you just sit and think. Let me know what you do, and love to hear from you guys. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.